Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see how do we identify the radio buttons and then checkboxes. So we will see with a new class. Go to a new class. I'm just writing radio check as my button and checkboxes. You can write any name, whatever you want. Click on public static void main and click on finish button. You no need to write the code again and again. You can simply go to your previous program, whatever we have written, just copy the first lines of the code till you launch the browser. You go to this and then paste it here. Now our URL is different, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my URL. So this is my URL and I'm going to place the base URL as this URL. And let me open the URL manually so that you will come to know what is that URL and all. So here, if you see, I have taken Guru 99 demo site as an example. There are radio buttons. 3 radio buttons are there. 3 checkboxes are there. Now I wanted to identify the first radio button. How do you do? Right click and then click on the element. Right click here. If at all you don't see that option, you have to press F12. If you press F12, your element you will be able to identify using the select this and click on the element. See here, you're able to see that. Or you go here, select one and click on the second one. You will be able to see the second one. You will be able to and see there are a couple of properties defined type ID. So far we have been doing with name and ID the same thing. Either you can take name or you can take. You see there is a difference. So when I use, for example, if you see option 1, option 2, option 3, for all of these, the name button is form. That means your script will not be able to uniquely. That means when the having the same kind of property value property. See here, here it is 1, here it is 2, here it is 3. Now I'll write the program. First, you define the button is equal to driver dot find element like this. Go to your script and then give a colon. So import the web element method. And now if you btn click one and the same one you are going to write rbtn1 dot click. Now what is going to happen? Let's close this and then try to. It will launch the URL and then it will check the first radio button. See how it is doing. So you will be able to see that URL launching and then you will be able to see the first radio button gets selected. So if you wanted to do it for second radio button, what you are going to do? So what you have to do, you have to identify the second radio button. Let's say right click, inspect, and then you will be able to see the second radio button value. Just go here and see here. Same thing, VFB hyphen 7 hyphen 2. If it is third one, it is 3. Now I'll just simply change here. If I write it as 2, run and see what is going to happen. You will be able to see the second radio button getting identified. So you need to remember one point. Whenever you have an option of identifying at a time, you will be able to select only one. You cannot do multiple radio buttons here. If I select it on option 3, then it will move to the option 3. That means radio buttons will not be having a provision to select multiple radio buttons. You can select only one radio button at a time. If I give 3 and see, it will identify the third radio button. You can write the script for all the 3, but at a time it will only identify one radio button. So this is how you will be able to identify the radio buttons, and then using click property you will be able to check that. So the same thing we are going to do for checkbox also. Right click, inspect, and then go to this checkbox here, and see here, there also if you see web form only they have written type is equal to checkbox. Similarly, whatever we have seen, there are 3 checkboxes, there are 3 values: checkbox 1, checkbox 2, checkbox T. They have given 606-1, 6-2. So now you will have an option to identify all of these 3. So now what I am going to do is I am going to write the basic program. I'll write the web element. Checkbox 1 is equal to driver dot find element by location and identify the property what is ID. Go here and then double click and then copy that, and then similarly you wanted to have same thing for second checkbox, same copy paste. You will be having 2 and then you will be changing the value as 1, because you go and see here, this is for second checkbox, it is 1. See here, this is second checkbox. You go here and check the checkbox. You will see the second checkbox is VFB-6-1, 6-1. So that is what they have given. If you wanted to have third checkbox, then you will be having third checkbox also, and then it will be 2. So like that, whatever the ID property they have defined, you can give. I'm just clearing this space and then trying to close this, and then we'll run the program and see whether it is identifying the 3 checkboxes or not. See, I did not write the code, so I have to write it, then only it will identify. So for now, it will just click on the radio button, whatever the radio button we have given. So let me add that script. Okay, so for in the script, what I have written, I have clicked for only option 3. That's what it is written here. Now, if I have to check the checkboxes, dot click, and then checkbox 2 dot click. If you wanted to check all of them, you can do that. Checkbox 3 dot click. Run the program and see what is going to happen. This is how you will be able to identify the radio buttons and checkboxes in any of the applications. We will see with a different application how to identify these two elements for a different application. See here, checkbox 1, checkbox 2, checkbox 3. So similarly, if you don't want to do it for all of them, you wanted to do it for only one, just comment the other two and try to run the script and see what is going to happen. Cat, here also it will identify the third radio and then the whatever the checkbox you have enabled. It could be one first checkbox we have enabled, I guess. Right? So if you see, first check the element. So that is how you will be able to identify the elements. So this is one way of doing it. I'll just create for a different application. Let me go and create the other application. Let me take the URL. Let's say you are having this URL. Go to your website and see here. In this application, as you all know, these are input boxes. Input box or text box. We call it as input box or text box. You all know how to identify these elements. So we will do this entire project in a different session. But as of now, I'm just telling you what are all the topics we have so far covered. And we have radio buttons here, and we have checkboxes here. Now we are going to cover this. How are we going to identify? Right click and then identify the element. So if at all you are not able to identify the uh, right click, using right click, if you are not able to do, if some reason, for some reason, if you are not able to see, press F12 key from the keyboard, then automatically this console will open, this window will open. So just go there and then right click. So now if you right click here and identify this element, select this element, see radio name, radio options, and you will be having different values. Value is equal to male, type is equal to radio, name is equal to radio options. So NZ model is equal to radio value, value is equal to male. So now you need to understand how you are going to identify this element. Okay, so this way you will be able to recognize different elements from different values. So similarly, cricket, see here id is equal to checkbox 1. So you can practice with this example. We will see this entire code in a separate session. How are we going to identify the different type of elements? So you just need to understand how you are going to recognize the element. If you know, then you will be able to identify the elements in a easy manner. Okay, so that is how you will be able to identify all your elements and try to identify the scripts.